In this quick video, I'm going to share with you why handling objections is one of the most important things you can learn in this market. Alright, so handling objections as a realtor. It's something we all need to do as real estate agents, but it's something that I personally didn't think about before getting into the business, and I'm sure many of you also didn't think about this before getting into the business. Now, the reality of rejection in real estate is that real estate is a highly competitive industry. Not every lead converts and not every deal closes, and rejection is just part of the job. However, how you handle rejection is one of the biggest things that defines your success. So it comes down to numbers. This is a numbers game, and I'm sorry if I'm breaking this cold hard truth to you for the first time, but it is truly a numbers game. Now, you can increase your conversion rates through learning different tactics and learning different ways to handle these objections, but at the end of the day, you're still going to need to learn how to overcome rejection, because you're not going to close 100% of the deals that you go for. It's just the cold hard truth and the reality of the real estate industry. Now, why does rejection actually happen? Losing clients to other agents is one of the biggest things that can come across as a real estate agent, especially when you're new. So competition can be extremely fierce. There's people with a lot of deep pockets. There's people with a lot of advertising money. There's people with a lot of unique propositions that they can offer because they've been in the market for so long. So naturally, yeah, you're not going to be able to compete with everybody, especially when you just get into the industry. But that's just the way it is. Now, deals falling through, financing issues, inspection problems, buyer or seller disagreements. Look, I've had times where people have wanted to sell their homes. It was a husband and wife, and they ended up getting divorced in the middle of the transaction. Was that my fault? To be honest, I don't think so. But at the end of the day, these are just things that happen when you're dealing with couples, you're dealing with people that are making big life-changing decisions. Emotions run extremely high in these type of environments, and you just need emotions run super high in these type of environments, and you just need to come to terms with the fact that you cannot control 100% of the things that are happening. Now, the other one is unrealistic client expectations. So a lot of the times clients do have unrealistic expectations. They think there's gold in their backyard, and they go off in this dream world where they want to sell their house for $100, $200, $300,000 over what the market is willing to pay for it. So this is honestly another reason why people have to face rejection, because at the end of the day, they're rejecting the fact that they don't agree with you and they think their house is worth way more. Now, next is market conditions. So external factors like interest rates or local economy shifts. These are huge as well. So this is what we're facing right now in 2024 is market conditions like interest rates have risen so much that people are just unable to afford housing. And a lot of people are having to pull out of the home searching process, and you may have lost a couple of deals just because of that. Now, the emotional impact of rejection is it can be very disheartening, and it can lead to a lot of frustration and burnout. There's a lot of self-doubt and a lot of loss of confidence are very common after multiple rejections, and fear of failure or rejection may impact motivation and performance. So a lot of the times when you're having these situations come up and you're just facing rejection after rejection after rejection, especially if you're in an environment where you come home and then you're facing more rejection by your spouse, like this can lead to a lot of frustration, a lot of burnout, and I see it all the time by agents. Now, the biggest thing here is that you really need to understand that these are not things against you and your personality and you as a person. These are things that are just part of the job, and you just need to work into your daily life. Now, here's the thing, you do need to change your mindset about it. You need to accept rejection as normal, and that fact that it's a part of the process, not a reflection of your abilities. So like I was saying before, this doesn't mean that you are a shitty person or you're a shitty realtor or you don't know how to do your job. At the end of the day, it's just part of the process, and again, not a reflection of you. Now, what you need to focus on is what you can control. And what you can control is the effort you put into prospecting, building relationships, and delivering amazing service to your clients. So these are the things that you can control. These are the things that you should only focus on. And all the rest you kind of just need to put at the wayside. Now, you need to also separate emotions from the business. And again, don't take rejection personally and focus on the business aspect. Now, learning from rejection, you can always review your feedback. What did the client say? What could have been done better? One of the practices me and my good buddy have is when we shared an office in a real estate office is we would, whenever we'd lose a deal, we would call the other person's client, act as if we were the manager of the other person. So if I was calling my buddy John's client, I'd be like, "Hey, is this Mark?" They'd be like, "Yeah, what can I do for you?" I'd be like, "Hey, Mark, it's JP here. Just calling you because John was filling me in a little bit about your guys' situation. You guys were looking for a house, but ended up that you actually went with another agent. Now, I'm not calling to get you back, but what I am calling for is a little bit of feedback so that he can perform a little bit better next time and maybe serve the next person a little bit better. Is there something that he did specifically that prompted you to go to another agent?" And then they would pour their hearts out. Now this works because you're not the person is not feeling like he's like in conflict with the salesperson, because if my buddy was to ask him, like, "No man, you're great, you're amazing," but this is a third party asking, this person could be a little bit more honest with the third party. This saves a lot of deals for the next time. Now, analyze the lost deals. Were there red flags or warning signs you missed? Were you dealing with people that maybe weren't pre-approved? You're dealing with people that maybe weren't giving you the full information, whatever it may be. Now, the next is to improve your process. So, adjust your approach to address common issues and enhance your offer. So, with all that feedback, you need to really adjust your process. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. We all know what that leads to: insanity. Now, building resilience is done by a couple of different things. So, setting realistic expectations and understanding that rejection will definitely happen, keeping a positive attitude and focusing on your long-term goals instead of the short term of like, "Oh my God, I just lost this deal. Boo hoo me." Stay consistent, so keep putting in the work even when things do not go your way. That's especially when you need to be putting in that work, because a lot of the times your competition, when they're feeling that it's not going their way, they're not putting that work in. So if you can just continue to put that work in, you'll be on top. Now, lean on your support network. You need to talk to colleagues, mentors, or friends to gain perspective. So, a lot of times, just venting about the situation to somebody close to you is really going to help and take a lot of that pressure off, so you don't feel that stress the next time you go and have another rejection. You're like, "Oh, we laughed about it," right? So, whenever we used to get rejected, we used to just laugh about it and make jokes about it and have a good time with the boys. So, that's something that just it helps relieve that pressure. Now, practical steps to handle rejection: take a break, step away, and regain composure. So, whenever I have an extremely difficult client loss or whatever it may be, I always take a break and I do this circle around my workplace area. Outside, I go for a walk. It takes me about 7 to 10 minutes, but it helps me clear my head to the point where, like, I feel like a fresh new person. I feel like I didn't have that rejection. So it always brings me back and kind of grounds me and makes me understand that, hey, you know what? It's not me. It's just the nature of the business. So the other thing is to refocus on new opportunities. Every rejection opens the door to new possibilities. So the thing is, like, if you take rejection and you let it ruin your whole day and you let it ruin everything else that's going around, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because at the end of the day, if you're really upset about one rejection, you're probably upset about that one rejection because you don't have 10 other opportunities knocking at your door. And you probably don't have those 10 opportunities knocking at your door because you haven't been prospecting and doing what you needed to be doing in the first place. So, really understanding and taking responsibility for all those emotions is something that'll help get you further in this business. Now, next is follow up. So, even after rejection, you do want to keep the door open for future business. You don't want to get pissed off at the client and be like, "Oh, I freaking hate you." That's going to, trust me, lead to very negative situations with that person, especially if you see them in the community or people are going to talk to them about their experience working with you. You always want to leave on a positive note. I understand it can be extremely difficult, especially when clients piss you off, but think of it as a game. As like, okay, can I really just keep my composure? Am I going to really be belligerent with this person, or am I going to let them lower my emotional EQ, right? So you want to basically be that person who kind of keeps their composure and doesn't let things phase them. So, staying motivated after setbacks, you do have to celebrate the small wins. So, recognize progress in your daily activities. If you were scared to pick up the phone and make a phone call, and now you did that today, give yourself a pat on the back. That's honestly some really hard stuff to do for some people. And if you just got one step closer to being the person that you want to be, that'll give you the life that you want to live, that's a huge, huge, massive success that you should really pat yourself on the back for. Again, set incremental goals. So focus on the next task, not the next big sale. You want to focus on the things that you can control, again, not when the sales will happen, and stay educated. So keep improving your skills and market knowledge to stay sharp. Watch videos like these all the time so you have this kind of mindset and you have this kind of stature that you're trying to embody when you're speaking to your clients. It really helps. Even I watch certain types of videos every single day, and whether that be motivation or speaking or whatever it may be. So in conclusion, guys, rejection is part of the path to success in real estate. You want to learn from each experience, become stronger and more resilient, and the key is persistence and continuous improvement towards becoming the person you want for the life you deserve. If you got some value out of this, guys, please subscribe and let me know if you like this version on slides or if you like it in a Google Doc better. Talk to you next time. And keep crushing in real estate.